And welcome back to Sacred Therapy, guys. Today we have the reading for the zodiac reading for Taurus for love and career. So over here we have career, and over here on this side we have love. As you can tell, I'm doing a little something new for you guys, Taurus. I felt called to pull some charms, which we're going to go over first for each of your piles, and then we'll do the cards. All right. So you should feel pretty special. I have my little thingy because I don't have long nails. Well, and the nails that I do have, you guys can't see the charms. So my mama told me that I have to use the little thing so that she can see the charms. So let's get into this. Right off the bat, I'm seeing this one. And this charm is the spider. Make sure that it can focus on that. So spiders is all about communication, the webs that we weave. So perhaps in your career, you have an overall like master plan. Okay. But also be aware of doing, stuff that looks a little like shady or sketchy. Okay. You could also intimidate people in your career field. A lot of people are terrified of spiders. I'm gonna put the ones that we've already discussed over here. And that's this. Let me get it officially in there. Is a heart. So you may have met someone with a romantic interest, or you may get along really well with your coworker. So this could be a more familiar type of love for you. It could be like your coworkers are your second family, or you have a career that you're really extremely passionate about. All right. As with any general read, take what applies to you, leave the rest. If you do not agree with a message, then maybe that portion of the message is not for you. So only take what resonates. And then we have a key here. So perhaps you're getting a new opportunity. A new opportunity is coming for you, or a previously closed door is now open to you. Maybe you did some training, you have some new skills. So I see you getting the key to something. Or maybe you have more responsibility. Maybe it's a legitimate key that you're getting, like you're getting a key to your building. You're getting a key to a company car. Maybe you are getting that promotion. Okay. And then here we have a feather, again for communication. Could work with animals as well. The feather, I'm not getting too much else from the feather, or perhaps you work with birds. I'm gonna have a little sun, moon action. So perhaps you are doing what you are being called to do. If not, Spirit is trying to communicate to you to go towards your soul purpose in life. Okay, so take whichever resonates. You know whether or not your job is fulfilling to you, your career is fulfilling to you. So tap into that awareness, be honest with yourself. Perhaps some of you are on the police force, FBI. This is a handcuff, and on it, I don't know if you can read it, but it says serve. So perhaps you also do some type of service work, public service. Maybe you work for, government official place. But this helping people is important to you. Make sure that you are not losing sight of that. And then we have this captain's wheel. So remember, you are in charge of which direction your career takes. All right, and that's all the charms that we have for the career pile. Don't worry, we will get to these ones. So let's get the tarot. Let's see what's going on with the tea. And I'm going to move some of this so that way we can put that right there. Yeah. Okay, the Emperor reverse. So perhaps you have been in a position of leadership, but the way that you are leading in your company does not feel or sit well with your own personal moral and values. Because the Emperor is a boss man in this upright position. He is achieved to his highest potential. In the reverse, I feel like there is an imbalance in your role with your job to compare to your soul, your authentic self. So perhaps you have to be someone at work that is not genuinely sitting well with you, depending on what field that you work in. You may have little to no control over this part. Okay. And then we have a Six of Swords. Six of Swords is, the sixes are always on success. This is about letting go, moving forward, releasing what no longer serves you, as far as your career. But in the reverse, it feels like you are experiencing some obstacles to success or the types of success that you want, Taurus. So let's get some more. Perhaps you did not get to go on a trip too, because we have a boat here. So perhaps you did not get to go on a trip. Maybe you were wanting to take a vacation and that did not happen. Or you want to take a vacation and something is going to interfere with that at your job. Don't feel bad. I wanted to take a vacation for my birthday this year and it's just not happening. It's not going to be foreseeable. Yeah, again with the Three of Wands in reverse. Upright, this is inviting divine spirit, aligning with your path, going towards your higher calling. And in the reverse, I feel like spirit is just giving this confirmation. There is, whatever job you're working, it doesn't feel like it is aligning with your divine path, your highest life purpose. And a lot of jobs we have are just like that. We have to pay the bills, we have to work, we have to do jobs that we don't want to do all the time in order to make ends meet. Taurus, as a fixed sign, I believe you guys are fixed. As a fixed sign, you could be very stubborn in doing what you want to do. Make sure you're not being stubborn and going against what Spirit's plan is, because that's not going to be for your highest good either. Yeah, we have the Nine of Swords here in the upright position. So I feel like mentally in your job you feel very boxed in, or if you're not physically boxed in, perhaps nobody has been listening to your ideas for change. They're not hearing you. All right, and this is causing a lot of this trapped feeling. You see this person's hands are tied. Okay. So I don't know whether this is just mental or if this is also happening in like your 3D reality within your career. But trapped is an illusion, whether it's mentally or even physically. You always have a choice. Okay. May not be choices that we like, but there's always a choice. Maybe you don't see it like that because I can hear you now. Well, I ain't got no choice to quit because if I quit, then I'm gonna starve. Well, if you get another job before you quit, then you're not gonna starve. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, temperance in reverse. There's a lot that Spirit has been trying to tell you about your career, and I feel like maybe for you, Taurus, maybe you've been ignoring the signs or the red flags or the nudges. And Spirit is, you gotta be careful. You better listen to Spirit's whispers because if you make Spirit start screaming, that's when they start causing those tower moments. Okay, you gotta be stubborn about the right thing, not the wrong thing. And with this temperance in reverse, this is like failing on your self mastery. So I don't know exactly how you're showing up in your career, but it feels like you are leading with your ego. This very like maybe competitive environment. Perhaps you are in sales, finance. Perhaps you're a lawyer. So there's some more. Yeah, King of Cups in reverse. So I feel like you don't even really like your job. This is not something that you are passionate about, which may be you're working with the charms and the love. Maybe you're keeping this job that you hate so much in order to provide for your family because we did have that heart. Honestly, you being so miserable does your family a disservice, anyways, because the presence that you bring home, if you're bringing your work home, if you're bringing the stress of the day, no one wants to see their loved one miserable if you are in a healthy relationship or a healthy marriage, or even if you're single and this is just, family. They don't want to see you like this. So you need to figure out what you really want to do for your career. You're going to spend the majority of your time anywhere, so you should enjoy it. Right? Some people enjoy working at a factory and fixing boxes. They don't have to think at their job. If that is the type of job that you want, you just a mind numbing job that you don't really have to pay something attention to, it's consistent. Same thing with scanning folks. Sometimes it's just like a chill, laid back, easy money type of job. And it's not very complicated. Some people really enjoy that. They go there, they make their money, they get out, they forget about work until the next day. If that is you, that does not look like what situation that you are in. It feels like you are very dissatisfied with your current career or what field you are working in. Perhaps this was your dream and it is not turning out how any way you expected. Yeah, Four of Cups. Looks like you're in mourning for a missed opportunity. So perhaps you um you really might have wanted that promotion, or maybe you missed out on what was there before your promotion. Perhaps your coworkers are treating you differently, your colleagues, now that you are their boss, is changing some of the dynamics at your job, and you are in mourning. This is the Four of Cups. There's a loss that you are mourning, and then you're not paying attention to the cups that are actually on offer. So make sure that you're not getting in your own way. We all have had to do things in work and in life that we do not want to do, that we do not like to do. And especially if it is a part of your job. Obviously, if you are in an unhealthy work environment, if you are being, sexually harassed, verbally harassed, or just harassed, based off of you being different than a lot of your coworkers, if you work in a predominantly male field and you are female, or if you are a male in a predominantly female field, and you are experiencing some type of discrimination, you need to contact your HR department. If you do not have an HR department, you need to contact corporate. Legally, they are not allowed to punish you for protecting yourself. All right. I know situations happen and some companies are trash, okay? I am grateful that the company that I work for is really great, really encouraging. I work with a great group of people. We have a great culture. There is jobs out there like that. All right. So you don't have to remain in this stuck energy, in this feeling trapped energy. You're not liking who your job is turning you into. And I get it. Like, the energy exchange is real. So when I go to work and I exchange energy with customers and colleagues and teammates and everything, it's a positive culture. When we have somebody who's not happy, like the disgruntled customers, some people like the employee wise that are upset, it's very few and far between that those instances happen. And then when they do, there's a conversation and then there's a feeling of being heard. And it feels like communication may be a problem in your job, which is why I didn't have too much off of this feather symbol that we have here. So communication may be a challenge within your position. Yeah, Ace of Swords. But you're getting clarity. Sometimes as the leader, you have to take the reins. All of your ideas, now that you are in this promotion of leadership, you can bring that change to the forefront. A lot of people do not like change. Some people can't operate within change. But if you implement it in the right way, and you can influence change at your job, I have influenced change at my job, and it has only helped. It has only helped things. It has only fostered team. It has only helped, the people who are on the ground working with the customers, get along better with leadership because they are receptive. So with your new role, you can let them know that role, you're not going to be playing the same position the way, y'all's old boss did or whoever was in that position before you. You switch stuff up, especially when it's not working. Obviously, go about it the right way. Talk to your leadership and make that a game plan. You know. Yeah, strength in reverse. Make sure you take your power back. Whether it's from a draining culture at work, because this is the strength card upright. So you may need a board, a team, other people on your side so that this can switch over to this so that you guys can have a strong culture, a strong team, a strong work environment, especially if you're doing something within the public service. I know that type of change takes a long time if you are in a government office and you're feeling trapped. That glass wall can be really big for a lot of reasons, legal purposes, perhaps bills need to get, but every effort to make it better, even if you don't see it in your lifetime, to think big picture is something that a Taurus is really good at. So step back into your power and understand that you can only do your part in the fight. You know what I'm saying? You got to step back. You do have to rest. You do have to reset. Because it's going to be a team effort. You should be fighting for your people. And not just like some bottom dollar value. If bottom dollar value is all that really matters to you, you need to take a look at that because spiritually, emotionally, mentally, you are not just happy with just money. Okay? So make sure you are not trying to front to yourself or front to spirit because that doesn't work. Your ego can lie to people all day, lie to others, lie to yourself, but it cannot lie to spirit. And you really can't, you really know you're lying to yourself when you are lying to yourself. So it's. Yeah, and this is going to foster partnerships, that clear communication, that take charge with that Ace of Swords leadership is going to create a better team environment. Or if you did meet somebody at work, this person is helping you feel unstuck. It's giving you the confidence that you need to provide this clear communication to your team, to advocate for yourself, to speak up. um, I've met a lot of different kinds of Tauruses, grown up with a lot of different kind of Tauruses. Honestly, they're male. In my experiences, I have a couple brothers that are Taurus. Um, my daughter's father was a Taurus. So, work wise, just make sure you remain tactful. Okay, you can be honest, but you can also present that information in a healthy way instead of like derogatory or, like ripping places down. Like, I would address it as a situation and not like at the person. You know what I'm saying? And if they're taking it personal, then at least you stated it in a way that um, can foster a good partnership. You know what I mean? Because it's really things, processes, stuff that needs to change that can just completely change the culture of a workspace. And I've had lots of jobs where the culture is trash. So it does feel like it's a trap. Um, the company I work for now is the first company where I've given feedback. They've received it, they've implemented it. Not just received it, not just heard me, but implemented it in real life with real customers and switched up, all kind of stuff to make it better for us and for our customers. So, telling the truth, speaking up, being honest, make sure you're doing it with tact. This can only help your job and would be making your bosses or your superiors, or if you are the boss, is going to make, your other people trust you better. And like, oh yeah, so our colleague didn't just get that title and then let the power go to their head and still run stuff the same old way that it wasn't working before, right? We have the moon in reverse. So it's like you're tapped out, checked out emotionally from your job. You try to keep your emotions out of it, whatever you're doing. And if you work in the government, so for example, if your job is tough and you are a social worker, a judge, a guardian ad litem, an attorney, you got to kind of keep your own personal emotions out of those roles so that you can make an unbiased decision for the parties involved. It's a tough job. Maybe if this isn't the career for you and this is something that you're doing, just to retire or just whatever, and it's a sacrifice that you want to make, you're going against your own heart space. You're going to be conflicted. This is going long term. Yeah, maybe you can do this type of situation for a while. And this kind of brings up what I told another person. We have the moon card. So a story with a cancer is happening. So a friend of mine got an expensive new, we'll say, truck. Okay. And she still had to make car payments on her previous vehicle because it wasn't fully bought, but then she also had the new truck payments. Okay. She had one job. Then she decided to get two jobs. And literally, she had 2 days off a month. So working 7 days a week, literally, like basically like 14 days in a row. And I told her, I was like, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to work yourself into the ground. You need to be mindful of doing that to yourself. And just now, she told me that she's over it. She is burnt out. I was right. It took a long time. Like, she probably started working two jobs over a year ago or something like that. And just recently we had a conversation where she was supposed to have a day off. Didn't. They called her into work. And again, she just feels like burnt out. And I've been talking to her, like, she doesn't laugh as much. She looks very depressed. Um, And honestly, it's because she just feels like all she does is eat, sleep, go to work, come home, eat, sleep, go to work. If that's the type of life you are living, Spirit is reminding you you are in the driver's seat. I know we all gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta make sacrifices for short term, but once it starts literally taking a toll on your body, making you sick, working yourself into the ground. I have another example. Um, another no, a Taurus that I do know. My brother has been working for the same, like my brother when he was a kid, he got all these scholarships to go to a private school for science and math. He spent one semester there and decided that was not for him at all. Okay. He didn't like the competitiveness of, going to a private college. He didn't, again, full ride scholarship, so there was no debt. Um, he didn't want to do the work at that institution. He wanted to pick something else, something that he was more passionate about. While that job would have got him a lot more money, he was miserable in the school. He decided that he wasn't going to make that type of sacrifice. He wasn't going to stay somewhere that didn't sit right with his soul. You have so many reverse cards. Everything is reversed. The Emperor, which is your healed masculine side. That's the provider energy anyway. This is energy, not sex. So you can be female and have a masculine energy. And anytime we're talking about work, providing, doing income, we will talk about it as a specific like American society type of conditioning, just for our own collective understanding. And then not always, but we're gonna look at it like that because that's what it has been. That's the symbolism, kind of historically. Hunter gatherer societies, all of that shit included, right? You need clarity for yourself. Talk to your partner. If you do have a significant other, make sure that you are communicating with them and you guys are on the same page before you start making any big changes. I'm not telling anybody to quit their job, but you do not look like you are happy in your job. So whatever you are doing, and maybe there's parts of your job that you just don't like, but you still feel obligated or trapped some type of way in doing this job. I don't know if you work, firefighter, like I said, police. I see in handcuffs, so protect and to serve. There's some type of culture. It's not aligning with with your highest good, with your highest timeline, with what is best with you for you, and with what Spirit has in store for you. And let's get some more. Yeah. Um. And bottom line, like the Three of Pentacles is about creating a solid foundation for wealth, for money. You don't feel like this position even has that in the reverse. All right. So maybe the money isn't worth the headache. It's not worth the stress. You feel trapped though because you already took the promotion. Maybe you feel like you couldn't step back down and still keep your job. Not sure if you would want to stay in this company. It just really it's gonna vary person to person. Um, but I'm seeing that you need to switch it up before you guys have a tower moment and Spirit switches it up for you, or the company closes, or I don't know, you start, acting out in self sabotage mode unconsciously. When you are completely satisfied, something will occur to to break that up. Can't just carry on like that. Yeah. Yeah. And And I have the Lovers card reversed. So we have the two cups. So perhaps for a few of you, I am also seeing maybe you, Taurus is very loyal, especially like romantically and physically. So I feel like I'm not seeing a third party situation here. Um, Not all Tauruses are loyal. So if you are one of those Tauruses, if you met somebody at work and you started a partnership or an affair with them, they may be making the culture at your job, your promotion, all of that stuff, everything at risk. And that is what you're doing. And you're not stepping into your own power because your actions have given this person power. Perhaps you try to tell them the truth and they decided to, move against you. Or you're doing this job that you hate, right? In order to provide for that significant other, that lady that we're talking about. And this is making it, she doesn't like how much time you have to spend at this job, the extra stuff that you have to do, the effort. So it's more hurting your guys' relationship than helping it, even though obviously the issue would be, you know, where we're going to get the money, you know? So you need to have some tough conversations. You need to be honest with her or him, your significant other, your person, or your people if you poly, okay? Ain't no judgment here. Families come in all shapes and sizes. In order to get to this Three of Cups energy, this joy in your career, this is the happiness card. I am seeing bottom of the deck energy. There is an offer. Perhaps for something that is just beginning, since this is a Page of Pentacles offer. It's still like a step down. So it's like maybe in the beginning stages, but Spirit is asking you to follow your heart when it comes to making this decision, when it comes to taking the offer, when it comes to, taking the risk of doing this. All right, let's get our cosmic insights. Yeah. A significant earth sign plays a very big role at your job. So Spirit is also reminding you, since you are the earth sign, you're in the driver's seat of this situation, of your career. You manifest what you want in your life. And I truly believe that I've manifested my career. Now that I am there are parts and pieces that I am not 100% like, yay, about. But overall, as far as the job that I need in order to pay my bills, I get to help people every day. So I get to do something that I'm passionate about. I work in tech and with education, so both of my skills are being used. You need to feel appreciated and valued at your job. You spend the majority of the time there, and I'm not seeing that for you guys, and that's sad. Maybe for some of you, the timing is like you don't have any time to do anything else. So, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, a significant person in your life, or perhaps if you are having some type of romantic affair at work, this is confirmation for you, because that person is also a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Okay. I can definitely see this messiness at work from a Virgo. I can definitely see that. Even a Capricorn. I'm really surprised about the Taurus. But you know what? Hey, I guess all signs got bad eggs sometimes. Take what resonates, leave what does not, guys. So, I guess we're going to put this on this Two of Cups. Or you need to have a partnership. There's going to be a significant person that you can talk to at your job that can help you, make this change or provide some type of clarity. That's Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn as well. Or that's your significant other sign, and this is a sign for you to talk to them, discuss how you really feel about your job, how they really feel about your job, um, and get on the same page. Okay, I don't even see this as I'm saying that. Confessions. Yeah, y'all need to have a heart to heart, and probably a heart to heart with your team too. If there is a team of people underneath of you, you want to change the culture, you want to set the tone, you want to set a new vibe, you need to set a new expectation. All right. I'm going to put confession right on top of that. Ace of Swords, spies. Someone got their eye on you. You are doing your research. So either you or your significant other has been doing the research, or this person that this key person, this earth sign person at your job, regardless if that's romantic or not, they are helping you make a move in the right energy, in the right headspace. Okay, it's important for you to do your research. If you are doing a, career change, you making a shift to do what makes you happy, you need to do your research. And then we got date night. Get ready for date night. So maybe for more than just one or two of you, maybe this is really like you had an affair situation at work and this is kind of wrecking everything. And now you feel trapped. Or once you and your lady have, this serious conversation, maybe you guys are going to have a celebratory date night for being on the same page and for just like, yes, I don't want to do this anymore. Right? Because you are going to have to take a risk. So we have gambling. This says problem with addiction or gambling, bad finances. If you work in finances, accounting, and you are scamming people, I see this is gonna blow up in your face. I don't know that those type of folks watch tarot readings though, but baby, you never know. It takes all kinds, all shapes, all sizes. Well, if you are here, I'm taking this gambling as this is to take a risk, to step into something that truly brings you joy, that you truly want to do. Maybe it's your dream job. Maybe you guys want to go traveling. Taurus can be stubbornly non-traditional as well, or they can be stubbornly traditional. All right, you are ruled by Venus, so I feel like your heart space is very important to your career. Either way you want to try to swing it, being miserable is not worth financial gain to you. Okay, I have not met a Taurus yet that will sacrifice themselves like that and stay in a trapped and stay in this energy for money. Unless you are truly materialistic, or like there is another like external circumstance going on where you feel like you don't have a choice to take that risk. Like for example, if somebody is sick, you're working so that you can provide medicine, take them to appointments, stuff like that. But I'm not seeing that here. I'm just gonna give you guys that. But yeah, the money doesn't look like it's enough. So I'm seeing you guys in a place where you don't really want to be in, and you may actively be looking for a new job. Communicate with your partner. I don't care if it's a girlfriend, if it's a wife, maybe been somebody that you've been dating for a while, if you guys are casual, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you make somebody else aware of what is going on, how you are feeling with work. And if you are making a decision that impacts somebody, make sure that you communicate. Remember what I said, you gotta watch. See the spider energy that we had? You gotta watch what webs you weave. Because it will, like everything done in the dark, it comes out to light. So, or if you're not, having some type of affair with somebody, you did meet, a love that maybe you guys started out as a work relationship, and has evolved into a marriage. Um, but the Lover's card is showing up in reverse. So perhaps there is some kind of issue going on. Either you or they are not happy with the fact that the job is like taking over every moment of free time between you guys. Um, Maybe they have a lot of ideas that you need to hear in order to switch things up, make things better. For example, my brother that I told you guys left the college. Like he got a great apprenticeship, and now he owns his own business. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna dive too much. He married his middle school sweetheart, like childhood sweetheart from middle school. Um, I've only known him to be in two relationships. That's why I'm saying like the affair thing just doesn't fit. It's crazy. But I threw it out there because people all the time. Just because I have never met somebody that did that doesn't mean that it's not possible. Um, but they are typically very loyal. So have a conversation with your person. Talk. It is hard to get a Taurus talking if they stubbornly like do not want to talk about it. But they need to you need to make a choice to clear the air and at least speak to your partner, because you can't stay in this energy. Not somebody ruled by Venus, and it's making your heart space. It's in complete reversal. So there is no like unknown element. Like you already know what it is. So if you leave the business like this, it's just gonna keep happening and keep expounding. So if you don't speak up, if you don't offer change, if you don't stir the pot, nothing ever changes to, you know, your greater benefit. Okay, you guys get bogged down in routine. So be careful that you're not doing your routines to your own self detriment. Let's get you guys some advice over here from these Mudra decks. Yes, charisma. You are beautiful. So perhaps you also do something in beauty. So you could also work in fashion. We talk a lot about legal stuff. You could work in fashion. You could have a creative career. It could be body art. It could be tattoos. It could be maybe you're a hairstylist. Maybe you have your own stuff. Whatever you do, you're using your charisma to make your business better. Um, and perhaps, like my brother, you become the face or the CEO of the company or both. And you don't feel like it will stand without you. You gotta delegate some of these tasks out because you are literally trying to work yourself into an early grave. And like I told my brother, I just want y'all to be here. Your kids want you to be here. Your significant other is gonna want you to be here. So you need to make some healthy work-life balance changes. Um, you are one of the few signs I drew for that I'm seeing like a lot of like I am upset in my career, but I have no choice but to work it type of energy. Even if you are the boss, that is crazy. Okay, you guys have the power to use your charisma to help the company, help your coworkers embrace change. Use it. Yes, opportunity. Take your chance. We were just talking about that page of Pentacles, that opportunity that is coming up for you to do that. So take the chance, take the risk. You didn't get your vacation, so okay, well, we need to switch things up. Yeah, harmony, perfectly centered. Once you have this tough conversation with work and you fix whatever is making you happy or you implement those changes, it could be minor, you know what I'm saying? But it's not feeling very minor to me. Like, there may be a partnership coming up, an offer for that, because I'm seeing that two of cups, okay? Maybe somebody is trying to join a team that will provide a lot of help, you know, and to allow you to have free time, to allow you to have more work life balance because we have harmony and perfectly centered here. All right. Openness. Open the windows of your soul. Yeah, tap in. Tap into yourself, tap into your team. Do a temperature check. Have a meeting. Have an honest dialogue. Okay? See how people are feeling. All right? Good business is by taking care of your employees. And honestly, if your people are not getting vacations and they are not doing, you know what I'm saying, they don't get breaks, they don't get time to rest, that it hurts your business more than it helps. It is a proven scientific fact. You can research it and look it up. People that get vacations approved by their employers, they are allowed to have time off. Their schedules are, um, and not trying to be scheduled outside of their work. They have high retention rates, low turnover rates, and these people remain loyal to that job and also come back more productive than if they never would have left. Okay? You take care of your people that work for you, they'll take care of you in return. Simple facts. Especially if you're the people that work for you or with you, if they feel like a second family to you, then there's all this silence, especially if they care about you and it's close. And you can feel, kind of heartbroken about hearing them, but it's not personal. It's literally, it's not an attack on you or the way you're running things, but everything isn't ran perfectly all the time. So you have to be willing to embrace change, tolerance, be generous. Yeah, hear everybody's ideas, having that brainstorming session. Discipline, yep, time for change. So perhaps you're tightening up business, tightening up the hours, tightening up, you know, making it more for everyone who's involved, making it easier for you to get the time that you need to provide more work life balance. Yeah, level headedness, be wise. This needs to be a productive conversation, okay? You can always spin it towards the more positive, you know. Enthusiasm. Yeah, there's a new start. For some of you, maybe you're not in a leadership position. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your situation isn't similar to my brother's, where you are the one who can implement change. For a lot of you, though, this new start is being implemented in change. For some of you, though, and again, just like for my Leos, I'm not out here telling you guys to, stop your job or quit your job, you know what I'm saying, because you watched the reading. Take care of your business. Get a new job before you quit your old job. This is the same advice I tell my daughter, who's grown. Make sure you have something, because money, you have to have money. You have to be able to pay your bills. You don't want to be out here in a bad situation. Okay, if you can help it. So I see you having a lot of enthusiasm though after you guys have this conversation. And if you watch like what goes down in your place of business, it's gonna be great. Or alternatively, you're going to accept a new position. And this position, you are gonna be surprised where it leads, like, and how you feel and how it's affecting your partnerships and your relationships and your family. And I see this turning back around. So if you already have a significant other, with my Tauruses, I always feel like some are married signs. So if you're not married and you are a single Taurus, that's okay too. That just means maybe you haven't met your person. So you can leave the love part portion of this part out, but definitely talk to your family, talk to your people. We're gonna get some more advice. Um, Also trust. Yeah, the anxiety goes away. So this conversation, all in all, bottom of the deck energy after you have this, is gonna foster more trust for you, for yourself, for you to align with your real heart mind, how you really think about things. You're sharing that, you're opening the table, and you're also being open to receive other people's truths. So this is going to foster a culture of trust in your workplace. That is very important. Not only do they like working for you, but they trust you. And you can trust them. So, see what we have. Yeah, there's a spiritual message. In your career, this is again, we spend the majority of our time working. It's going to have an effect. It's going to play a role in your mental, your emotional, your physical, and your spiritual. And if it's not feeding your soul, it's taking away from it. Okay. Yeah, message of freedom. Make sure you have that communication. There, we had that captain's wheel. You're in the driver's seat, regardless of what is happening in the 3D. Real world follows thought. Your thoughts, the seed that you plant in your perception. Yeah, guide. Perhaps that person, if it's a leader or a partnership, an offer for a partnership, that person is coming in and is going to act like a guide to help make some changes in a very good way. Now, I'm not talking about cutting staff and having people lose their jobs and that type of way that happens in the movies. That's not what I'm talking about by joining in a partnership. I mean, maybe you get a big, like, hey, we got a sponsor. So it allows you to, like, okay, so we can advertise for them and we're partnering with this business. So now we get an employee that can cover, this, and this, and cover phones and cover whatever, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what kind of business you do. This partnership is really helpful. It's also guiding you to grow your business in new ways. So it's mutually beneficial for you. Or that new position, kind of connects you to that mentor that you may have always been looking for. And maybe that person, turns into a lifelong friend, or it turns into something romantic if you guys are, single. You. This also is for you. It's healing for you, right? Because bottom of the deck energy right now, all your unhappiness, all this anguish, this mental, emotional, and spiritual anguish, this problems with your relationship, not having free time, it is affecting you. All these secrets. So you gotta be open, vulnerable. All right. So when can we expect this timing for stuff to happen in a career? When you're truly ready for it. Obviously, nothing happens unless you take action. Again, you're the captain of the ship, so you got to move first. You have to make the first move. It's telling you no need to hurry. So this should not be an impulsive choice. Taurus is meticulous at planning, strategizing. Do this smart. Okay. This is not the time for impulsiveness. But also, don't be a turtle with it either. Like, it won't take 5 years to make this big change. So, but Spirit wants you to know that there's no need to hurry. You don't have to do it right after this reading. You don't have to do it tomorrow. All right. When you are truly ready for it. Yeah. See, in the nearest future. So Spirit is telling you, don't skip the planning stages. Don't skip the crucial things of making those changes and implementing these, or doing your research on that new offer. Take your time. Be thorough. But in the nearest future. Okay. Also, there's a lot of different people here. So if you feeling a um called to a specific time frame message and not called to the others, then that's fine. That doesn't mean like, oh, I get to pick the one I like the most. No, it's the one that's like reaching out to you. You may not like the most, but it's the one that keeps repeating in your head. Spirit wants you to know time is still unknown because there is the fact that this decision is a choice. For some of you also, this secret is about the secret affair. And this expression is, or this situation, if you're not taking charge of it, if you're not being honest and open with it, then it's going to blow up in the nearest future. Or this opportunity, this offer is also coming in the nearest future, but time is still unknown. And then it wants you to know to stop focusing on time frames. All right. So if you're also one of those people who like, oh, at this age, I should have had this, this, and this, don't do that to yourself, Taurus. Don't do it to yourself. Okay. Let me give him a little. I'm going to switch gears over here. Again, we already talked about this bottom of the deck energy, and you can see these decks beyond. Those are going to be our spiritual messages after. We are making decent time though, so let me hurry up because it took like 3 days for Leo's reading to really upload. So yes, we're going to love reading over here, and nice, cute. Okay, so I see this tree. So this is a relationship that is grounded. It has a strong foundation. Perhaps you've known this person for a long time, like the story for the career section that I gave about my brother, where he's, reconnected with his middle school sweetheart and made her his wife. And they have been married now for, I think, like 10 plus years. All right, so you have roots with this person. Strong roots. Okay, something else that looks familiar. For the second time, you have a ship's wheel, letting you know that you are in the driver's seat. Your love life is in your control. I know you better not be playing in my chair. Told you, get out of there. What are you doing in there? What are you doing? Well, sometimes he be putting his nails up on the back of it, so. Yeah, normally if I yell at him, he jumps down, so I didn't think it was him anyway. So Taurus, your love life also may have experienced interruptions, delays, detours, distractions on your side or their side, okay? Flower. I think all of that is done in order for growth. So this person and you can grow together. This is awesome energy so far. And then we have a rose. So this is definitely romantic. But there's also a friendship here, a deep level of care. This is mutual with the two flowers. So both of you guys can grow in this connection and bloom and blossom. And perhaps if you guys do have kids or children, it's a very healthy environment for them to grow into as well. Minus the person who's doing that affair business at work, because that's not good for nobody. There's a butterfly, so perhaps your love life, or the way you relate to people, the way you do relationships went through a significant transformation. Got a lot of junk right here. here. Um, Perhaps you or them are of, Christian or Catholic faith, or you could just be very spiritual. There is two of these. There's two of these. So perhaps you guys are of the same faith, so it's really a match. You guys have the same like religion. Perhaps religion is important to you guys. Maybe you guys go to church. Or you have the same spirituality if you're not Christian or Catholic. So if you're into, if you're both Wiccan, whatever you are, it looks like you met that person and you guys have the same spiritual faiths. Yeah. And I feel like you're locked in. This is the first sign reading where I've gotten that, like, majority of you guys in Taurus are locked in. You've set down anchor. You are no longer seeking anything else. Like, come hell or high water, it's you and this person in this to win this type deal. And I'm getting for you guys real cute. Like, this is your favorite person to talk to, your favorite person to communicate with. I feel like you guys have really strong communication. While I'm doing, if you watched the whole video and you watched the career part already, if not, you should definitely check out the career part. Because I feel like you and this person probably knows that you are unhappy in your job or whatever is going on in your job, especially if they worked out with you and you guys have been talking kind of maybe in circles about what to do about it. But in the next conversation, the next brainstorm, the next thing, I feel like there's going to be an epiphany. So regardless of whether or not things are going great or things are, a struggle, you can really truly rely on this person. And I also see another butterfly. So perhaps both you and this person have significantly bloomed and changed and grown throughout the years as well. I'm getting mirroring. So I feel like maybe this is like soulmates or twin flames that have really gone through life already, like, together. And perhaps this relationship was very transformative. The butterflies do look different. They're not identical. I'm going to see if I could try to get them in the same little swoop so that you could see. Like, one of these butterflies is bigger and the other one is like super tiny. So, like, so they got different wing designs, but they're both, still butterflies. So you guys may have transformed in different ways, but the love that you still have for each other, like, you still recognize, and you're able to grow together. And that's a really beautiful, beautiful energy. Yes. I see you guys, stepping into your healed feminine and masculine energy in this relationship, learning a lot about yourself, and helping each other to really adjust each other's crown. It's crazy when you find somebody that builds you up like that versus tearing you down. So if you have a gem like that, make sure you hold on to them. Okay? Not super duper tight, but hold on to them. We also have another captain of the ship. So I don't feel like either one of you are really leading in this relationship. I feel like both of you guys chose each other. Maybe for a small, like, part of you guys, or maybe for the other half of you guys if you're not in a significant relationship. Perhaps you and this person may be going in different directions, since we do have the Lover's card over here in the career part in the reverse. Maybe too much damage has happened. Maybe there's a split going on. Okay. Again, That's not for very many of you. And then we have two hearts. So we have one that is like silver, cutesy, little teeny, cute. Okay. There's a lot of love here, both of you guys. And then we have one that is big, gold, and got a cupid arrow slashed right through it, and it says love. There's a lot of love here. And I also feel like, again, with the faith and everything, you and this person have experienced a lot of like the universe conspiring with you guys to make sure things work out. Make sure you guys are constantly thrown together if you are not together with this person. Okay. So let's see what's going on with the music. Let's see. Let's set the tone for some love. Tony Braxton, Unbreak My Heart. I love this song. Don't leave me in all this pain. Don't leave me out in the rain. Come back and bring back my smile. Come and take these tears away. I need your arms to hold me now. The nights are so unkind. Bring back those nights when I held you beside me. So if you guys are in separation, or if something happened, again, I'm feeling like for maybe a chunk of you, this affair thing happened at work. Or perhaps you guys were together as kids and that relationship ended, and then you came back together as adults. So seeing you again triggers this person's original heartbreak for you. All right, take what resonates. Bruno Mars. Yeah, see, look. When I was your man. My pride, my ego. And then we have the Emperor card in reverse. Remember I said ego in the career reading? Yeah. My pride, my ego, my needs, and my selfish ways caused a good woman like you to walk out my life. Now I never get to clean up the mess I made. Oh, and that haunts me every time I close my eyes. But with some of you, this work situation really did already blew up. Like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the first half of this reading. And then bottom of the deck energy, Alicia Keys, If I Ain't Got You. Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things define what's within. And I've been there before, and that life's a bore, so full of the superficial. So perhaps who you are in your career, how you conducted yourself, how you carried yourself, made the person you were into or the person you were married with, the person you were with, really think like you're not the person who I thought you were. And there was a breakup. All right, let's see. Let's get the tarot. You guys didn't get that many tarots, so let's see what's going on with y'all's love life. Yeah, we got the King of Pentacles. This is a person who knows how to balance work and life. All right. So if this is the energy that you guys are in, having that conversation that I told you to have over here, getting that clarity is going to put you in this energy. You're going to step back into who they know, who they thought they knew you as. Okay. Because the King of Pentacles is on his throne. He's confident. And there you are, Taurus. All right. This is how you should be when it comes to being stubborn. Being stubbornly in this energy and not letting a job or anything influence your type of character. So I feel like some of you guys are young. Like if you're doing this career mess up, messy thing, or you have other signs and influences in your chart that conflict with the stability that a Taurus energy usually has, yeah, the betrayal in your love life is feeling very real. So, or you're feeling betrayed. Something happened. So maybe somebody broke your heart. You're mourning them, but you know you gotta leave them alone. But I feel like you're still holding on. So this is like my knot of thoughts card. So there's a whole bunch of contradictory feelings, emotions, thoughts. Why did this person do this to me? How could you? People are trash. All right, they do surprising shit all the time. And when they show you who they are, though, I would definitely believe them until you see them show up in a different way and back that with actions, and not just once. I'm talking about consistently showing up different shows that they've moved on and they've done that type of growth. And with you doing that, then I see the wheel of fortune turning in your favor. You having that clarity, you being honest, you opening the doors on that communication. And perhaps you didn't even intentionally break their heart. It doesn't have to be the affair one. Because again, like I said, I'm not really feeling it. It's not really sitting right with me. So maybe you just like life pulled you guys apart and didn't get a chance to be together. And this was like the one that got away type of deal, or maybe it just didn't go anywhere. And maybe you have a lot of thoughts about that. But I'm seeing a lot of ex stuff, like unbreak my heart, when I was your man, and if I ain't got you. So I'm feeling like the betrayal was big, but maybe for some of you it's not that big, or it wasn't that big. Typically Taurus is not a dramatic sign. It can be weird, don't get me wrong, but it's usually not like over the top dramatics, antics, all of that. Okay, I think more like my sign, which is Libra, or my rising sign, which is Leo. Those are the two signs that I feel like are very dramatic. Can be over the top, can be like in your face when there's a problem. We can get petty. I feel like a Libra can get petty. All of our signs can get petty though. So if you are moving in your ego space, take accountability. Own your shit. Do what you need to do to make it right, to make it up to this person, if that's the person that matters to you. Again, we had a lot of the ship wheels. So if you're not happy, you decided that this person isn't for you, and you guys are calling it quits. Spirit is letting you know that whatever choice you decide to make, that's going to be the right choice for you. So make sure you really go with your heart. You follow what you're wanting. This is the tower moment in reverse. Remember I was talking about a tower moment happening over here if you didn't like take the reins. This shows that the tower moment happened already. Shit already hit the fan. Things already, were revealed. But you guys are moving past it with this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. So it is post the storm that blew up your life, and you guys are coming out stronger for that. That's not an easy situation to be in. So I'm not out here encouraging like everybody's going to forgive you. Nah, some people aren't going to forgive you. For some of you guys, it'll be a wrap. Okay? And you'll be moving on by yourself, but it does get easier. Yeah. Okay. Continuing to move and be stubborn and hold yourself in that secret energy, not communicate, not talk to them. You are robbing yourself of this happily ever after. This is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so you have all the potential to switch this situation in your favor. And I feel like this is a heads up from Spirit that you are making the wrong moves. I shuffled y'all's cards for a while, and these is the only tarot that would come out for us. Bottom of the deck energy, in case you do not believe what I'm saying, and I gotta cover her right here, is the World in reverse. This is somebody getting everything that they want and doing everything that they need to do. You may have people trying to talk to you, trying to get your attention. And trying to distract you from, the person that you are, the person that you need to be. And that shouldn't be happening. All right. That's robbing you of your divine connection. Your high level soulmate connection. So take a look at your stuff and figure it out. Maybe this heartbreaking song, maybe you broke your own heart in this situation by how you handled yourself at work. This doesn't have to be an infidelity, but we do have a partnership card and the Lovers in Reverse card on this side of the table for career. So something going on in y'all's career is affecting the relationship between the two of you. All right, so let's get some advice in love. We need a direction. So go your own way in love. All right, that means make sure that you are showing up as your authentic self. Make sure you are being who you truly are in this situation. And again, we have butterflies. So your love life could be going through another transformation. And if you've been with this person for a long time, it could be a lot of transformation. I'm seeing something is threatening to happily ever after, though. So make sure you are expressing yourself. All right, if perhaps unique, individual, chill. You're resilient. All right. So this means that you might have experienced a lot of adversity. There may be issues for you personally that could, have really got you down about yourself, or could really have affected you guys for a little while. But I see your relationship, your bond is really resistant. And it's spirit is reminding you guys to just be your authentic self, be who you truly are, live in that real energy, joy. Yes, and that's going to bring you guys joy. We have joy ending on both. That's crazy, because this is the Three of Cups over here is your last card, and then we literally have joy, enjoy life. So this person, I'm seeing, we have lighter skin, gray hair. I see blonde. I see darker skin. I see a lot of blonde. That could be red hair. They might be indigenous. I'm seeing a lot of indigenous. So indigenous or black. There's a couple of, I think this baby girl look Asian. Yeah, she look Asian or like Hispanic or something. It's hard to tell because it's like cartoony kind of pictures. But I'm also seeing green eyes. There's gray eyes on the table, and there's also brown eyes. There's full lips. Big cheeks seem to be prominent. So high cheekbones or big cheeks. They also may have a very unique sense of style, loud, colorful, vibrant. Maybe they start dyeing their hair different colors. Maybe they are into makeup. Maybe they're into fashion. I'm also seeing, maybe somebody that's a little bit more heavier set, somebody thick. So maybe you got a BBW, which is big, beautiful woman, for real. Before we get their messages and start getting too far in here, you guys did get some additional cards. So Spirit wanting to go into your shadow side and your mysticism. So stepping this reading into the unknown or into something that you may or may not want to take a look at. Also, bottom of the deck energy is wild femininity. So dealing with your toxic feminine traits, roaming eyes, disloyalty, frivolous, those types of toxic traits, being selfish, using people for your own benefit. If that's how you were showing up at work or in a relationship, Spirit is encouraging you to do something different, move a little differently with that. All right, let's get some. This is the most cards that I've ever had out of here. This is my soul connections tarot. We see embrace what destiny has in store for you. Admire. It is time to think of everything that you admire about your partner. So yeah, maybe you went into the arms of someone else for a little bit, either before or after y'all broke up. And you're still thinking about, this person, your person. Yeah, obstacles. Look for ways around the obstacles to find happiness. So you guys are not without your struggles, trials, and tribulations. Spirit is encouraging you guys to look beyond the obstacles. The obstacles happen in life. It's a part of a relationship as well. Yeah. Cherish a relationship. It doesn't change the fact that it should be cherished. So if you are going to be the person who needs to do the forgiving, make sure that you are able to truly do that and truly trust that person again. Because if not, I've seen it done. I've seen people do it. I've seen, you know, married people, have that. I've seen it done a couple of times. Okay, it's a long road to building up that trust. So just make sure that in healing with that tower moment, you guys keep it honest. Yeah, it says love conquers all. Love cannot be the only thing that you guys have, though. You have to foster trust. You have to rebuild those foundations of trust and by taking accountability for your mistakes and owning it and being transparent in how things went down and what happened. It's a tough spot to be in. Yeah, feelings. Take time out to explore the deep emotions you are experiencing. If you did step out of a marriage, make sure you and your partner, your wife that you are trying to work things out with, make sure y'all discuss where y'all are really at, why this really happened, Okay? Because I'm also getting like this, the bottom of the deck energy is golden. So your love life is golden. This hiccup, this experience, this pause, it really like kind of taught them your worth. So whether it was your decision or theirs to step out, it really taught them your value. And again, this is giving me indigenous woman vibes. For real. Yeah. Giving me indigenous woman vibes. I forgot to do that bottom of the deck card, so I needed to pull that out. Your connection is eternal and unbreakable. This does not mean just do whatever you want, though. Like, hurting them should also hurt you. As important as this person is, we have the Lover's card, we have partnership. I feel like you guys may work together and do life together. Look deeply within to discover your soul purpose in your relationships. Like, y'all are one of them couples that do like everything together. That's my best friend. Yes. Labyrinth. Even when you feel lost, there's always a way through the labyrinth. Yes, I feel like the opposite of that tower, like reverse, you guys have made it through so much already. And like you are just showing up to show appreciation. So remember, like, never stop flirting, never stop falling in love with each other, never stop being romantic. You want keys to a successful relationship. Um, I've seen marriages last for years. They do have their hiccups. So make sure you guys are keeping it real, keeping it honest. We playing games with people. Life is too short for that. Yeah, guilt. Don't let guilt get in the way in the way of happiness. So you or this person feel very badly about stepping out on this relationship if you did, or very badly about y'all's initial breakups, or very badly about whatever is causing the rift between the two of you. But don't let guilt win power over how you show up in this relationship. Respect. Yeah, respect your relationships. So anytime trust is broken, then you have guilt, you have respect that you have to earn back. Um, and I'm seeing people, earn it back completely. It takes time, a lot of time, and a lot of maturity. So if you are at that level, it can be done. And Spirit wants you to understand that your relationship was tested. Your strengths and weaknesses are being tested. So whatever is challenging you or this connection at this time, it is a test. Okay. For those of you guys that are with your twin or you're with your soulmate and you guys all together, that does not end the test there. You're gonna still be tested. Character is gonna always be tested. Alright. And then bottom, her last message that we have is true love comes when you least expect it. So perhaps this person came to you out of nowhere. Spirit is just trying to remind you how you guys met, how you guys fell in love, and the test is meant to grow both of you. It's not meant to try you. Why Spirit? Why God keep trying me? Everybody get tested. You thought you was exempt from the test? No. His favorites get tested the most. So honor. Honor your loved one and you will notice your relationship becoming stronger. That's our bottom of the deck energy. Okay. So this is true love. All right, let's get some more advice from Spirit and then we'll get some messages from your person. Then we'll step into Divine Timing deck. Taurus, you are going through it. So your job isn't exactly what you want to happen, but I feel like you're going to remix that a little bit. I feel like in your relationship, you guys are going through some things, some trust issues, some other stuff is happening right now. But you're working on working it out. I also love this about a Taurus. You will never know what they are going through privately. Like they keep their business their business. I can respect that. Doesn't help us out here when we're trying to do a zodiac reading, though. We are trying to keep it hush. I couldn't even get no cards over here. Mind your own business. No. Nah. So, all right, let's see what Spirit's advice for you guys is in this relationship and then get some messages. Nope, we're going to do it in the reverse. Sorry. We're going to do it in the reverse. We're going to get our messages and then we're going to get Spirit's advice. I wish I could share my good news with you. So your person has some good news, something that they want to share with you. I'm afraid to contact you. So if you guys are in that separation right now, you guys are not talking, you're trying to give them that cool down period, you or them is afraid to contact you. Or maybe they're afraid to talk to you about how they really feel about their job, what really happened. Maybe they're afraid to talk to you about this big mistake that they made with Unbreak My Heart and When I Was Your Man and If I Ain't Got You. Or maybe they're just afraid to tell you the truth about how you were acting, how you were making them feel, because then they feel like they, are being a critic or something. I wonder if you are happy without me. So that's something that they are wondering. Um, if you wanted to do life without them, if your life is easier without them, especially if you guys have been together for a long time. We both know I am not the one for you, so perhaps this is why somebody's eyes were wondering. Perhaps you doubted this or you were doubting it. I feel you even though we're apart. But this, just because there's this doubt doesn't mean that it makes it any less real, any less true love. Sometimes true love doesn't really look like what our idea version of true love is, right? We will be together again. Yeah, so if you are in separation for this person right now, I feel like you guys are going to get back together. You're going to sort it out. You're going to rebuild trust and work on that. Yeah, you and I were too young. And maybe that's just it. So maybe you guys really were too young. And you had to grow up a little bit, explore some stuff about what you don't want. So if there wasn't a cheating situation, maybe you just needed to explore another connection, and then in order for you to realize that this connection is still there, this connection is the strongest one. I feel like Taurus is a lot of our early bloomers instead of late. So I feel like a lot of the trauma, a lot of the struggle happens in the connection instead of before it. Yeah, different paths. You are not on the same page with the person you have in mind. The directions you want to move into are different. You've been in a relationship with a person for a long time. You also need to have a legitimate conversation. Check in with those people. Spirit is encouraging you to check in, or perhaps you had that check in with that other person and realized, yeah, the page is different. We don't want the same things. It's not mutual. We don't want the same lifestyle, etc. Make the effort. So this is why you're making the effort. This love is worth taking risks. You are called to move forward. Both of you guys are probably feeling that call to come together, move forward from whatever that mistake was, move on from your guys' own individual flaws. It's also still wants you guys to stay optimistic. Positive thinking and faith will bring romance into your life. Also, positive thinking will bring your romance back. So if you guys lost your spark for a little bit, you can always, tap back in and, pretend like it's brand new all over again. Yes, Spirit wants you to redirect your thoughts. Focus on what you want to attract in this relationship, not what you fear will happen. So being transparent, saying something that potentially will hurt somebody, you can get in your own way of like giving people your truths, but you need to just make sure that this is something that you really want to express to them. And also, if this is your best friend, if this is your person, this is your safe space, then this is your safe space. You should be able to tell this person anything. Okay. But as far as envisioning in the future, I would keep it based in love and not in fear. So if they did mess up or you messed up, try not to let your fears and your doubts start running away and planting seeds into what you're pulling towards you. Yeah, be honest. Heart to heart conversations are necessary. It is safe for you to talk about your feelings. I've just said that. Spirit, be on it, boy. Boundaries. Yeah, you need to teach people how to treat you by being clear on what you will or will not allow. So some boundary or something I feel like was messed up. It was a part of a test. Maybe this person tested your boundary and, failed. Maybe they did step out on the connection, but maybe it was like, oh, I don't know, looking at girls on Facebook. So it wasn't like I slept with somebody or I got somebody pregnant. It was more like mental cheating or emotional cheating, or you know, versus like I acted on this. Uh, so take it how it resonates. I'm not sure, and I'm not saying that any level of cheating is worse than the other, but honestly, like I've seen people, forgive like, oh, I went on a date with somebody or I was doing this, but like slept with. Usually, if that person is out here actually being intimate with other people, then those relationships are the ones that are like, nope. So unrequited feelings. There's not enough love to keep this relationship going in a healthy way. I feel like that is whoever the affair was with at work. If this was the situation, even if it was a mentor, emotional, or a flirty affair, um, they don't really have feelings for this other person. They have feelings for you. They're invested for you. You're their true love. This says open yourself to others. This is how you create new friendships and attract a love relationship. And then bottom of the deck, I don't react when people mention you. So if you guys are in a separation right now, a Taurus is always somebody that's holding their cards close to their chest. They not letting you in. They not letting their shields down unless they really fucking rock with you. And I know because my daughter's father was a Taurus. I was his best friend. He told me everything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And there was a point in a time where near the end of his life, we were not together anymore. I don't react when people mention you. That was me. So Taurus is our like opposite sign. Like Taurus is the feminine to Libra is masculine. We are cardinal signs, which means we are mutable, whereas Taurus is fixed. Okay. So once you set your mind on something and decide something, then that's it. I feel like you guys are taking this space or whatever you're doing in order to really like you want to allow him or her to have that opportunity to figure out, are they still invested or are you guys going their separate ways? And this is because, and you're keeping it private, you're keeping it under wraps. It's something that's only going on between you and this person, period. And it's because this is your twin flame. This person is your mirror soul. This is why this connection feels so sacred to you. So that's why nobody else at work or anywhere else could even compete with this. You may be just flirting and doing some stuff, because you're bored or whatever, but it is not on nowhere near the same level. Okay. Let's get some timing. So when can Taurus expect this situation to unfold in love? Yeah, things will unfold as they are meant to. Okay. Not the right time yet. Yeah, not the right time to make any big impulsive decisions in your love life. Okay, I'm feeling like spirit is advising you to hold up. All right. Yeah, and stop rushing things. This is not something that you're going to be able to like force them to forgive you tomorrow type shit. No, because you wouldn't be forgiving nobody tomorrow. So this is something that is going to have to take, some time. Or if this is something that is medical and out of your control or whatever. Like I feel like something is very heavy in love for Taurus right now. Yeah, Spirit wants to encourage you to stay positive about it too. Whatever is going on, stay positive about you and this person. Somebody smells good. So perhaps you or this person have a very distinct scent. Like you guys are drawn to each other's smell. And it's so funny because my sister and my daughter just left the house and it's been like 5 to 10 minutes. I already did a whole bunch of more cards. And now I'm just randomly like, I smell like lotion, maybe some spray. It's like vanilla-ish. All right, it's gone now. I lost it. I was gonna give y'all some more notes, like scent notes, if I could find it. But yeah, Spirit wants you to know that all of this is gonna unfold sooner than you expect. Keep in mind, if the timing messages feel contradictory, there's more than one person watching this reading. Take the sign messages that are coming out for you. I'm also already pre-shuffled your guys' spirit messages. The last reading took like 3 days. Leo took 3 days to upload. And we're kind of getting close to their time frame. So I decided to take out a lot of the shuffling to try to make this like as less as possible. I also added in charms. So even though I took out the shuffling, I added in charms, which made us probably cut pretty even. So I'm going to give you guys your divine guidance advice. These oracle decks are geometry. I do not have these oracle decks memorized yet. So I'm going to read a little bit from the book for these readings, okay? So make sure that I'm not mincing Spirit's words. So also the angel number 22, you have 222 as well. You'll see in just a second why. So make sure you look that up. It's very significant as well for twin flames. The grid. The living energy matrix of Mother Earth and the secret pathways to other dimensions and realities of existence. The power of the sacred geometry within holds many keys that your subconscious is unlocking. This card shows your ability to explore and maneuver through other worlds and to bring information back from them. You may do this in the dream time, during meditation, or even unknowingly while completely conscious and alert. Hidden within this card are messages that only you can retrieve. Sit with this one for a while. So if you want to pause the video, take a screenshot of this card, whatever you guys need to do to meditate on it, see what messages come to you. Spirit has private messages for each of you guys individually. All right, put this in the middle right here. And also, Spirit wants to know that you are a shining star. You were born to illuminate the world with your light. The time has come to get out of your own way and allow yourself to be all of who you are meant to be. Remember what I said about the reverse emperor position. You need to figure out why you're in your ego space, your pride. Heal a lot of that, work on that. Remember, it's only the thoughts in your mind that hold you back, and it takes a lot of more energy to hold yourself closed than it does to let yourself flow open. This card is asking that you to allow yourself to take up space, to open yourself up and illuminate this world. So Spirit is asking you to drop your guard in work, in love, to take your guard down a little bit. This doesn't mean just let anybody in and it's a free-for-all for everybody. No. But let your light shine on people. Allow yourself to touch folks' lives. Don't keep everybody at arm's bay. And it's okay to have somebody that you confide in that is on the outside of the situation when you need to talk. All right. 16. So the number 7 could also be significant. Look that up. Angel number meaning 7. Spirit might have messages for you there too. This is on target. Keep yourself focused on the outcome, goal, or result that you are aiming for right now. This card has come to you because you may be faltering or questioning yourself. Let go of your doubts and fears. Your life and your goals are right on target. Keep your intentions clear. Stay grounded in your heart and follow whatever intuitive nudging you may feel. Spirit is working with you on an energetic level to help you bring your dreams to fruition. All right, so Spirit is helping you remain on target, remain on guide. Like, remember, even if it's not your favorite part, everything is designed to have that switch up, you know, and in order to allow yourself to, you know, remain on target, right? So even if it's your least favorite part, even if it's traumatic. Like I've had to go through a lot of traumatic stuff. For example, the toxic relationship with my ex that I did for 6 years. I would never want to do it again, but I appreciate the experience. You know what I mean? I would not be who I am and the person that I am today if I didn't spend those 6 years fighting with that girl every day. Fighting for my life, fighting for my right to be here, fighting for, and I'm not even the type. I'm not even the meek type. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even the type that'll let you sit down and do that. Um, I guess that's what made it most fun. That's how you gonna fight with somebody that's not fighting back. That can't be fun. Anyway, you are on target. So regardless of what is going on, like I said, even when it's your least favorite part, the chaos is written, written into your story for a reason. Everybody always wonders why they go through something bad. We can't grow when shit is just all hunky dory. You're not growing like that. Yep. 28. Freedom. Alright. Leo got this card too. It's time to come out of your shell. This shell, which did serve you in the past to provide protection for your tender heart. There you go. It's no longer needed. The time has come to begin to allow yourself true freedom. This world and your soul both need to let your light and your heart shine. Allow the past to be the past and move forward in this present moment. Do this in small steps at first if you need to. Moving away from your protective shell means allowing your true heart to be seen, but it also means allowing others in on a deeper level than you have been able to allow before. Yeah, with this opening yourself to others, it's bringing you a type of freedom, being able to express yourself. Like I said, not holding yourself closed, you know, focusing on like the grid, opening yourself up, understanding that you are on the right path, and freeing yourself up to, express your heart, express your mind, express your truths. All right. 27. Yep, we have a new direction. So this could be a new direction in career, new direction in love life, new direction in both. Okay. Energetically, your life is ready to move in a new direction, but you have to allow for this to happen. Have you noticed that you do the same things each day, that you've fallen into a routine? It's time to break free from the daily patterns you have created in your life. It's time to be spontaneous. When you do this, you open your energy to the possibilities of something new and revive your passion for living. The energy of the universe is ready to flow, and by consciously breaking free of the routines and patterns you have created in your life, you allow space for the new and different to manifest. Okay. 40. This is OM. The meaning of this card is twofold. Okay. Firstly, it is calling for more time in meditation and prayer. Energetically, you are needing some time alone with yourself in your inner space. Through meditation, you are able to connect more deeply with your higher self and your guides. Energetically, this is vital for you. Secondly, this card calls you to focus on the power of your voice to facilitate the opening of your throat chakra. This vocal expression, whether through chant, prayer, or even singing, is important for you right now. Yeah, I'm feeling that with like your career and your love life. Like you have maybe, if you're haven't been neglecting yourself physically, you are neglecting yourself spiritually. So make sure you're doing your spiritual work too. This aligns the most with your heart mind. We already talked a lot about your heart mind. There's things in your job, there's things in your love life that are happening that don't feel aligned. But I'm gonna read exactly what Spirit has for this Pacific card. So learning to operate from the heart is one of the single most important things we can do. It is now time to activate your heart chakra to its fullest potential. Spirit is asking that you take time to sit within the energy of your heart. Learn to breathe through your heart while you meditate by focusing your breath in your heart. Feel the loving energy you inhale and allow it to fill you. Let each exhale also be love filled, and feel this love filling the space around you. Through this daily exercise, you become one with your heart mind, operating fully from a place of love. All right. Bottom of the deck energy for our spirit. You guys have divine guidance. Number 44. So, also, angel number meaning 44. Beautiful soul, you play a very important role in the awakening of the planets. Your light is so needed here. You are always wrapped in the loving embrace of the divine. It is in those times when your tears may fall or when you feel most alone that your angels and guides are with you the most, shining their light and love on you. Not for one moment should you doubt this. You, special soul, are being lovingly guided and supported on your path. Divine guidance is leading you gently. Look for the signs. Feel the love and know that you are always supported. Like I was saying, like through it all, Spirit has your back. You are serving a purpose here. You're doing yourself a disservice, though, if you're doing your work in an unhealed space. If you're not taking care of yourself, that's how you can, get bogged down in that. Okay. Let's get some light messages. Then we'll get us some questions. And then that's going to be all that I have for you guys today, Taurus. I don't know who that was. Toro. Who is Toro? I don't know. Yeah, 34. Soul mating. So confirmation again. The person that you are connected to in love is your soulmate or your highest level soulmate or your twin flame. Okay, because every soulmate sometimes is not romantic, but a highest level soulmate typically is. Yeah, they are a key part in your soul journey. Facts. You are also on a soul journey. So remember, you are a human being you are a spiritual being having a human experience. So the journey of your soul in this lifetime is just as important as your money. Just as important as the physical stuff that a lot of Tauruses focus on. I know for a Taurus, especially the one that I knew, if you guys I went through any type of lack, any type of, I didn't have this when I was little. Taurus is that person that's going to overcompensate for that. For example, my daughter's father, he grew up in a household where he didn't get a lot of positive communication. They flung around insults and all this other stuff between him and his dad and him and his sister. He also wasn't real super tight with his mom, so we understood each other, and he communicates so much. He talked like a girl. I was floored that at most men's communication skills after being his friend for so long, because my expectations were just so high, and gradually over the years they got bumped down, because I'm like, dang, since when can't dudes have a conversation? You can't even hold a conversation? That's crazy. And I'm not just talking about your average strong silent type. I'm talking about a full-fledged heart to heart, a deep chat. I could probably count on my hand the number of men that I know that can have that level of communication. Um, and that's crazy. I don't know if a lot of us were just living in pride and ego, if we were like sweeping stuff under the rug, or, you know, if I just had to get like, I don't know, some more experience. But remind yourself that you are on a soul journey. So remember to touch base on those deeper conversations. And again, you need to have somebody that is in your corner that you can express yourself to, that maybe doesn't live in the trenches of your everyday as well. All right. Yes, let your light shine. Double confirmation. Spirit is like, hello, shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Be on firework. Yes. Stop dimming your shit. Don't dim your shit at work. Don't dim your shit in love. Shine. Okay? Yeah. And this is going to bring you joy. Yes, because you're not going to be, you know, staying all tucked up and, you know, trying to hide yourself and trying to make yourself small to not draw attention to yourself. You're going to be miserable doing all of that. No. Yes. And make sure letting go of processes that no longer serve you, thought processes, emotional processes, physical processes, spiritual processes that no longer serve you, that you have outgrown. Make sure you are releasing that, releasing anger, release grief. You know, it's going to be real healthy for you going forward. We also have, divine masculine. You have that's what I'm saying. You have the biggest potential. And again, Taurus is a feminine sign. Um, if you don't know a lot about zodiacs, you can look it up. It's energy. Taurus is very nurturing, homebody, quiet, like family is big for them. They tuck into family life. They make moves based on being responsible and providing for people, male or female. Okay, it's a very grounded energy. They also don't let a lot of people ruffle their feathers. Um, they don't really care about other people's opinions about their shit for real. Um, they are literally they march to the beat of their own drum. So I see you healing your own masculine energy as well, because obviously you have that too. And I mean that is in you're moving out of your ego space with how you are operating from your job, and letting more of your healed masculine side that you know have at home show up at work, instead of being this like cold, calculated, ego driven, competitive person at work. You're allowing like other people to see, oh shit, that's a real person. You know what I'm saying? That's a real, he's real, you know? She's real. Yeah. Showing up in your divine masculine energy. All right. Now we are going into our, this a whole book came out for you guys. So this is my soul truths. These are questions I'm going to end it on. So if you need to take time, these are questions that I would ask yourself for love and career. Do I know all my strengths and am I using them? Okay. I'm going to put it over here on the career reading. If you have not watched the career side, definitely go check it out. Where am I called to use my voice right now? That is the second thing that we have heard, where it's confirmation that your voice, you're not using your voice. You need to express yourself. You need to speak. My brother was so quiet growing up, man. I have another brother who's also a Taurus, but I feel like he's such a weirdo that he's not a regular Taurus. So, like, he's just himself. He's just very out there. But my other brother, very quiet kid, chill, play football. uh, stockier, just a solid dude. I was always like super mad at our dad, but he was super chill. I say all that to say, like, I've stepped in for my brother, and I was like, well, why aren't you upset? As he was using his voice, he was like, because dad doesn't bother me. I don't let dad bother me like that. And I was like, well, he bothers me. I'm about to let him sit here and talk to you all crazy. People are listening to you. So if there's arguing going on, if there's a culture thing that is happening at your job, and you are normally like quiet and you're staying out of it, you need to step into your power because that's going to help things. If you have ideas on how to make the situation better, how to do something different, how to be better, you're going to call people to think of things that maybe are outside of the box for them, but is normal for you. Because he had been operating like that. I never understood how he was so chill. But I used to tell my brother, I was like, man, when I grow up, I want to be like you. This is my little brother, okay? But he's been so emotionally mature, even since we was kids, man. Like, he's just always been a solid, dependable, responsible dude. But he's also been quiet. Like you have to encourage him. Like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? He's very private, sticks to himself, very much a workaholic. Um, Unfortunately, I feel like he could still use his voice to, you know, restructure things to work out in his favor too. What am I most afraid of losing? And I think the why he hasn't yet, and maybe why you haven't, why you're holding out is again, maybe you're afraid of losing the stability. Perhaps you don't own the company that you work for. Um, I don't own the company that I work for, but I speak my mind. I give them the ideas, and I'm not saying lose all tact and just be blunt and tell these, and go off. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying have a tactful conversation when you are not upset anymore. Take a cool down. Hell, take a week of cool down if that's what you need, so that you can then come back and address the situation. Right? How can I infuse more self love and compassion into my daily life? Make sure that you pour into your cup too. Okay? Make sure you are nurturing yourself, nourishing yourself. Um, Taurus can be outwardly focused, so much so that they are, minding everybody else, minding things for everybody else. Like we were seeing in that King of Pentacles energy at home, he has he's focused. When he's home, he's home. You know what I'm saying? When he's working, he's working. So that he knows how to make work life balance, but logistically, this is a struggle in this specific career. So that needs to be worked out. What passion am I ready to pursue? So, for those of you who are choosing a new direction in your career, you are unhappy with that job, you plan on or already are looking for a new job. You're like, As, how did you even know that? That's what I was doing. Spirit told me, I don't know, man. Like, it's in the cards. Um, or if you're like, I need a side hobby so I could do this for myself. Like, make sure you're hitting the gym. Make sure you're getting active. If you have like a sit down job, um, do something that's going to help you tap into the joy that you used to have as a little kid when you was excited to get up. Um, maybe go to school for the first day, or it's summer break for the first day, or you about to take a trip, you know what I'm saying? Something that is exciting. So if it wasn't Christmas for you, then whatever was real exciting. You got a great gift on your birthday from our Jehovah Witnesses. Maybe you got taken to a picnic and ate the best cake of your life. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, what passion am I ready to pursue? And then come up with a game plan. What expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? So perhaps you are holding yourself to high ass expectations in your job,
with the timing and everything, and that's not actually realistic. Maybe you only want to pay a X amount of people because that's all you can afford, but realistically, the business and yourself, in order to run appropriately, giving everybody enough off times, having everybody pick up, stuff, is, you know, it's less, right? So make sure that you are opening your horizons. Perhaps you're switching it up, like, okay, how can we get some more people in here but also still save some money? There is such a thing as an internship. Okay, don't be taking way crazy advantage of the interns. Again, happy people, they take care of you. So, make sure it's fair, whatever they are getting out of it, especially if they're not getting compensated. And somebody doing an unpaid internship, just remember, unless that's like college student wise and they're gonna like support that, it just depends on if you have tasks that you want to trust them with. How can I be more kind to myself and offer more grace in this very moment? So, we're practicing having a healthy relationship with ourselves. So, I'm gonna have to bring my other brother into this, the weirdo one. Okay. I have two Taurus brothers. The one is older. He's around my age. The other one is younger. He's around my daughter's age. And when I say he's a weirdo, he's a weirdo. Um, but he was also lacking like confidence. You know what I'm saying, in himself. So he, needed to learn real life skills instead of just, I don't know, winging it. I have no idea. Like there's really no words for like how weird he is. And I ain't talking about like cool weird. I mean like weird weird, like weird. Huh, sad strange little man. Yeah, he's weird, but he doesn't know how to communicate with himself or other people very well. So he can also be a little like down on himself, or down about his confidence, about who he is. So, me and my daughter, we kind of took him under our wing and was like trying to like help, bring out some of his stuff, teach him how to have a little bit of swag, you know what I'm saying, so he could be confident in who he is. This is definitely like more like of a physical thing, but it also is mental and emotional. And I was also letting him know like, you can't do certain behaviors or else people gonna really think that you crazy and like you belong in a straitjacket somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, so we had him dial it down low. So dialing it down the weird just a little bit so that, first off, he can be more kind to himself, but also so he can also ground and tap into reality. Because as a Taurus, I feel like he might as well have been a Pisces, bro. Like he must have really strong Pisces placements, because he is off in La La Land in his own world. Baba woo see ya, like so much. It's insane. Um, in the way I've never even seen a Pisces, like a real Pisces, do that. I've seen people that need some medicine do what he does. I've seen people in movies actually in the asylums do what he does, but not, no. That's why I was like, I don't really use him as far as like an example of a Taurus because he's such a weirdo. Um, but he's not like a danger to himself or other people. He's not like that type of weird. I just feel like he could realistically probably do movies or books or something because he be in his own world anyways. You just need to invite everybody in and get these characters names and all this other stuff. I feel like maybe he's a little bit more sensitive and he can actually see things, like a medium. But it's also like a little scary because he don't have enough like knowledge of this. I've been practicing and doing this stuff for 20 years and looking into stuff because my mom got into Wiccan when I was like 11 years old. Okay, so I've been exploring different religions, exploring different things. I know the rules. I've had the mistakes and I've done all that stuff. So I'll just be nervous with him and used to just Palo Santo the mess out of that boy for all time. So make sure you are cleansing yourself. Um, and maybe you are a weird like he's a weird. It's okay. But how can you be more kind to yourself and offer more grace in this very moment to yourself? You don't have to be perfect. Um, and there will be other weirdos that will vibe with your sense of weird. Okay. As long as you guys are not hurting anybody or taking anything, you know, as long as nobody is being hurt, nobody is being taken advantage of, nobody is being abused, nobody is doing any of that, then being that type of weirdo that's kind of like makes you a little nervous weird is cool. But I just let him know like you can't open yourself up to all types of energy. So he needed to learn like some blocks. Because I'm trying to tell you, like, he would be talking to himself and answering himself like he's talking to an invisible friend at 18 years old. We're not talking about a 5-year old that with an imaginary best friend. We're talking about somebody who's supposed to be a grown man. Right. Yeah. But he's different, you know, and that's okay. But that might explain a little bit why, like, I don't. This is what I mean by, like, think outside the box. So, a Taurus can be very traditional, very inside the box, but a lot about them can also be contradictory, where some of them is really weird. They think out the box. Like, even though my other brother is really chill, he's a very unique person. Um, he definitely, like, is his own person. Yeah. So, when was the last time I danced freely? So, Spirit is encouraging you have fun, be your weird ass self, and have fun. Find your tribe, find your people, and have fun. Okay, all work and no play is depression. Okay, we're not doing that. What am I looking for outside myself that is already within me? So if there was a recent mess up with this with a third party or whatever, or a separation type of conversation between you and your significant other, what am I looking for outside of myself that is already within me? If you are depending on somebody else for your happiness, that other person, they are not responsible for that. They can add to it, not take from it, but they cannot just like do stuff that grants you temporary happiness. That's happiness is a choice. It's like chill is a choice. Being angry all the time is a choice. Oh no, I just got anger problem. No, you think that's what it is. So did I. It is literally a choice. You are the one that lets those scripts of like what is pissing you off run through your head unedited, on replay, just living rent free in there all the time. You choose. Okay. You can choose to turn them off. Yeah, this brings me right back to how can I infuse more self love and compassion into my life? Yes. Am I apologizing for my truth? All right. No. Maybe you are, but you should not be. You should not be apologizing for your truth. Everybody has truth for a reason. These are yours. You need to honor other people's truths, be a safe place for them to share that information with you. Yeah. And I'm going to leave it here because we are already over the 2 hour mark. This is going to take forever to load. Well, Taurus, we're going to see how long it takes you to load your reading. thank you guys so much for being here. This has been really, really fun. Let me give you our last one. So, you're getting downloads for insights, especially if you ask yourself these questions. You can also create your own questions. And then, am I consistently showing up? I want to add to that because Tauruses consistently show up for the people that they're responsible for, unless they choose not to. Okay. So, can you consistently show up for yourself as well? Because that's the person that I've seen the most that they don't show up consistently for. So, and again, male versus female Tauruses are different. I honestly, off the top of my head, I do have some female Taurus like friends and stuff, but literally it's like a work friend or like, hey, I met this person while we was both traveling type deal. I don't really like know you every day, you know, sit with you, talk, chop it up like I know like both of my brothers, right? So I can't give you a girl version of a Taurus. But I'm sure you could also see yourself in this too, even as a girl. And I am curious about that. So if you are a girl, you've been watching this reading, you know, went through the whole 2 hours with me, leave your opinion. Post down below. Let me know how this reading was for you. If it's off, if it's way off, then maybe this is not the reading for you. And that's okay. There's a bunch of other readers on YouTube. There's room for all of us in what we do here, what we're trying to do here. Also, your sign says something about the sensual. So maybe you trying to figure out with the Taurus that went a little off. Some type of betrayal happened over here. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you remain level headed when you are dealing with this emotional situation too. Being disciplined in your life can also help you with that too. All right, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it right there.